Hi, this is Bob Whitesel. Today again we're going to look at 3 lessons from 3 articles in biblicalleadership.com in 3 minutes. Well, first of all, do you have a sport team? You can tell that behind me I have a sport team. You know, when I was growing up I played baseball, and I remember the big thing that really changed was when we stopped practicing and we actually in Little League had a game with umpires. Boy, those umpires were strict. They were telling me I was doing things that I didn't even know were illegal in baseball. Well, I'm a fan still today. I'm sure you are as well, of your favorite team. But one of the lessons in biblical leadership came from Tom Crenshaw, who is a lifelong umpire. And he says, people don't think about the umpires, but they're glad they're there. And he said, oftentimes they only have bad things to say. In his article, Leadership Lessons Learned on the field he's talking about is the field of dreams, the baseball field. And you know what he said? He said that often umpires never hear a good word. He said, give them a good word. The Bible says in Proverbs 12:25, a kind word cheers a person up. Cheer up someone that has a tough job today. That's a great lesson. Thank you, Tom, for sharing that. Another lesson that came from an article is called Reasons Small Churches Are Trending. That is true today. Matthew Fretwell writes an article and uses all the statistics to say that small churches are the largest of the churches today, the most of the churches, and they're really frequented by people from Gen Z and millennials. He said one of the reasons is because the fellowship is so important and so close in these smaller groups. The leadership lesson is the smaller church is a movement. And simple is reproducible. We can reproduce more churches if we keep them simple. May mean bivocational pastors, may mean sharing buildings. It may mean meeting in other facilities than a church sanctuary. But he says smaller can be reproduced more. So think about how you can help smaller churches thrive and survive, and actually how you can help have a smaller church within maybe your larger congregation for the Gen Z and millennials that prefer that. Thank you, Matt Fretwell, for that article. And finally, Making Space for Creativity. That's a great article by Mike Bonem. Mike pointed out that a lot of researchers say the best time to be creative is when you have the most energy. For me, that's usually in the mornings. I'm more of a morning person. I know some of my colleagues, they work late at night. Whatever is the time that you have the most energy during the day, that's the time to focus on creative things. That's the time to sit down and think about creative ideas. That's the time to brainstorm with others when you have the most energy. So find that time during the day when you have the most energy and brainstorm with some others, and you will be making space for creativity. You'll find all these articles on biblicalleadership.com. I'm Bob Whitesel.